Just checking out some hot springs right here at the Yellowstone National Park. You know what else is hot? Blackburn Rovers, boys and girls, as we pick up our first victory of the season up against Middlesbrough, and we'll talk about it next. That's right, folks, back once again with another match review. This time we are picking apart Blackburn Rovers' home victory up against Middlesbrough, and we'll talk about it in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, smash the old subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, championship related, world football related. We're all here under Warowski's. That's right, we are here in Yellowstone. There are some springs here, boys and girls, natural hot springs. You know what else is hot? It is Blackburn Rovers, and let's take a look at the match in a bit more detail, shall we?
Okay then, folks, let's take a look at that match in a little bit more detail. So, Rovers coming out on top with a 1-0 win in the end. 14,012 people were in attendance to watch Rovers win their first game of the season. The only goal coming from the penalty spot, Big DG scoring it from the 25th minute. Quick look at some of the stats here for you. 14 shots for Rovers, 9 for Middlesbrough. In fact, Middlesbrough dominated possession with 52% of the ball being within Jonathan Woodgate's boys, 47% for Rovers. They had more dribbles than us. We won more of the aerial duels, which is good to see. More tackles on the ground for Middlesbrough, and we also had more corners than them. Quick look at the starting 11s. Christian Walton between the sticks, no questions there. Cunningham continued his run in the team after his midweek exploits in the Cup. Williams, Lennon and Bennett made up the back four. Bradley Johnson, Lewis Travis in the centre midfield slots. We had Downing, Gallagher and Dak with the attacking three, and Big DG up top. And a quick look at my match ratings for the Rovers. 7 for Walton, 8 for Cunningham. Pretty good performance for him. Williams with a 7, Lennon with a 6. Bennett had a 6, as did Johnson. Travis ran his socks off and got himself an 8. Dak, Downing and Gallagher got themselves 7s. Obviously no goals by Gallagher just yet, but he's running his socks off. And Big DG with the responsibility to put the ball in the back of the net, obviously without skipper or former skipper, should we say, Charlie Morgan, who's now over the road with Wigan. So penalty duties are now lying on his shoulders, and he duly converted. Quick look at the lineup from Middlesbrough. They had Randolph between the sticks, French, Shot and Ayala, Jick Steele. I think that's his first league start. Wing, McNair, Howson, Fletcher, Johnson, and a bit of Sommerlonger up top. Some more stats for you. Quick look at the shots here. Rovers actually had how many bits of possession did we have? I can't see it for me, but we actually made 305 passes compared to their 341. They also had more touches than us, 540 compared to our 471. Dribbles, like I said earlier, I think they had more dribbles than us, 14-6. We attempted more tackles than they did. We did lose possession as well. Quick look down the bottom of the graphic where the shots took place. And of course, the goal that went in the back of the net. A couple of long shots there by Middlesbrough as well to try and put Walter under a bit of pressure. And that's the key thing for me, is that it ended up being a clean sheet for Rovers. Obviously, the 3 points speak for themselves, but to get a clean sheet is a big confidence boost for Walton, Bennett, Lennon, Williams, and of course Cunningham coming in, and he looks the part. And obviously he's had quite a few years up in the northwest with Preston, so maybe if we can do well with Cunningham between at the back four there, maybe we can make the deal something permanent. And if that was to happen, could Amari Bell be on his way out? Either be him or Sam Hart, I think. So we can't have too many left backs knocking about. Quick look at the heat maps. If you're a heat map manager, just like me, boys and girls, as you can see, not that much coverage from Rovers compared to Middlesbrough. So they did have a lot of the ball. I covered a lot of the grass as well. So not too shabby indeed. So quick look at what else is going on in the Championship. Obviously Huddersfield lost on Friday night, which cost Mr. Stewart his job, so Fulham winning 2-1. Barnsley picking up a 2-2 draw at home to Charlton, who maintain their unbeaten start to the season. Brentford drawing with Hull City, lastminute.com sort of winner there, or leveller. Bristol City 2, Queen's Park Rangers 0, 2-0 win from Bristol City. Luton Town losing to West Brom. Millwall 1, Sheffield Wednesday 0, Nottingham Forest 3, Birmingham City 0, Stoke and Derby duked it out with a 2-2 draw. Swansea City 3, Preston North End 2. Wigan lost at home to Leeds, and I'll rest assure you boys, Charlie Mulgrew was not in that starting 11. The last game to be completed this weekend will be Reading up against Cardiff, and after that we'll have our match predictions back on the channel, boys and girls. So hopefully we can see how well you guys got on, and of course how well I got on with those predictions, because the games do come thick and fast. Here it is, the table for you. Leeds are top of the pops with Charlton hot on the heels. Both of those two teams with 7 points. They are joined alongside West Brom, Swansea and Millwall with 7 points. Last weekend's leaders Sheffield Wednesday dropped down to 6th. As for the bottom, it is Reading, Stoke and Huddersfield make up the bottom 3. Middlesbrough just above them in 21st spot. As for Rovers, we jump up to 18th. And I tell you now, we are a win, just one win away from the playoffs. That's right, but it's all easy. It's just slow the boat down a little bit. Quick look at the games coming up this midweek. Obviously, games taking place on Tuesday and Wednesday. Over on Tuesday, the biggest game of that day will be Hull City against Blackburn Rovers. I believe it's in live in front of the cameras as well. I think Sky are there. Birmingham City take on Barnsley. Derby will take on Bristol City. Today's opponents, Middlesbrough, will take on Wigan, so they need to bounce back, and I think they'll get the result there. Sheffield Wednesday will take on Luton as well, who started their campaign in okay form. Cardiff City against Huddersfield. Obviously, we don't know how they get on until Sunday. Charlton will take on Forest. Fulham, Millwall, Leeds, Brentford, Preston North End against Stoke, QPR against Swansea, and West Brom against Reading. Quick look at the top goal scorers as it stands. Bamford is the man. In fact, he's alongside Taylor, Grant and Baston from Swansea. Then Hernandez, Waghorn, Lawrence, Conor Gallagher's in there, Mitrovic and Graven, all with 2 goals to the name. The key assist men so far: Johnny Williams with 3, Conor Mahoney's got 2 assists, Johnson's got 2. And there's a whole host of folks with 1. As for Rovers, we've got the goal. That's good, but it's not from open play. So there are 2 goals so far this season. Of a big fat OG, and then the penalty last time out.
So you heard a little bit what I had to say about the match. What did the gaffer have to say about the match? Well, here he is, shortly after the final whistle.
I just said that in the dressing room. That's whatever we've been trying to do through pre-season and make him a bit more technical or put some more passes together. It's we went back to basics today and doing the basics well, and that's what I said. Listen, I'll never question their desire and drive and passion and emotion to try and win football games. Might occasionally get beat by a better team with an individual with some quality that can hurt us, but I don't think they want for a desire to try and win a game. Yeah, I'm delighted for Dara and for Derek, of course. Dara hasn't trained for a week or so. And Derek Williams, as I said to you, he's had a conversation that he wants to be recognised as a centre-half, and whatever the competition is, that's where he wants to play. And I thought his steadiness really today, some important blocks, and he's pretty composed with the ball coming out, picked some passes, so delighted for them. I was a centre-half for 20 years, and it has to be in your belly to keep clean sheets. It's what you do when you go to work, clean sheets. Don't worry about the little guys up front who can take all the glory. You keep your clean sheet and then be happy and sleep well on a night. Yeah, I think that's the dressing room, really. That's nothing I do, really. That's the dressing room. We've set the standards and the demands of how hard you work. The Elliot Bennetts, the Danny Grahams, the Bradley Dacks, they demand. That's what the standard is, really. And so you can't have an off day, an easy day, tippy-tappy day. You have to go to war when you play for our team. And whilst it's been disappointing to lose at Fulham and to get beat at your opening day, I think there's a lot of really good qualities in this team still, and I think we'll have a decent season. And because of the qualities you saw today, there'll be better football teams than us, but it doesn't mean they can beat us. And looking forward to the season. I've always said that. I don't get too downbeat after a few games. Let's talk after a dozen games of where we are and how many victories we've had and how we got them or how the games felt. We're looking forward to everyone. Hull on the week on Tuesday, and then Neil Warnock brings his Cardiff City here, and I'm sure that will be a tasty affair as well. No, I like the squad, and it's of course you can always improve things. You can every position you can try and get a better play. It's really difficult to get better than a decent team unless you've got lots of money to spend, really. It's difficult to get better than Danny Graham, but so we spent 5 million on Sam Gallagher, and somewhere down the line Sam Gallagher will replace Danny Graham, probably down the middle, as opposed to he played out wide today, but it's still an effective ball from a left-footed Johnson or a left-footed Williams or a left-footed Downing to be able to drop it over their second centre-half's head, and he's powering in behind him. You can feel the threat, really, and so worked on the basics today, and they did the basics very well, and we got the result, and so we content with it, but back to work tomorrow and start the preparation for Hull. Always has been. I said that to Woody before the game, really, a player I signed back from Middlesbrough, however long ago it was, 5-6 years ago, I'm not sure now, but because he loves his job, I can see in his eyes, he loves football, he's so proud to be the manager, but you have to find a way to win, is what I'm saying, because he's talked to the local press about open attacking football, scoring lots of goals. That's great. You have to win, otherwise you won't be a manager for very long at any level. So find a way to win, which is what we did today, trying to go back to basics a little bit, do what we're good at, put the players in the team who can do what we know we're all about, and we got a victory. And I'm pretty sure Woody will be very successful at Middlesbrough, and once he knows about all his players and what they can give him. I think Tuesday might be a bit tight, I'm not sure. It's not a bad injury, it's a touch and go situation really, and it'll probably be on the back of a clean sheet. It'll probably be, let's go again, let's give them lads an opportunity again, and by the weekend, who's to say, Cardiff come in with the team that they'll bring, and the power they'll bring, and the set plays they'll bring, and the directness they'll bring, that he might be ready for the weekend, and we'll wait and see.
A little bit what I've had to say. Have you heard what the gaffers had to say? What about the fans? Well, earlier in the week we spoke to John Gaunt, a Middlesbrough supporter. Here he is shortly after the result.
Blackburn 1, Middlesbrough 0. Blackburn definitely the much, sounded to me from what I heard, the much deserved winners, speaking to other Borough fans as well. Borough just sounded like they were miles off the pace. Sounds like we've got some big issues within this team. Danny Graham, former Borough man, obviously, scores the penalty. Definitely Stonewall penalty. Don't know what Jick Steele was thinking. Some issues need to be addressed with this Borough team moving forward. We just need to come together. Hopefully Woodgate gets his win soon, and we see more of the team that we saw at Luton than we have over the last few games. Just feels like this team really needs a win sooner rather than later. Good luck to Blackburn for the rest of the year. Hopefully we'll, when you come up to the Riverside, we'll hopefully be able to get you back.
And finally we catch up with Dan Cox, another Rovers supporter, stateside just like me. Catch his thoughts after the result, after Rovers picking up the big fat victory.
Hey, Rovers got all 3 points. Hallelujah. Finally, season's off. We got a clean sheet as well. Greg Cunningham, I think, added a lot to that. He is phenomenal. What a guy we have on our hands. I hope Tony can lock him up on a permanent deal. He looks the real deal. Probably the best left back we've seen since Warnock days, but did a phenomenal job up and down the left flank. But otherwise, the entire back four looked really strong, I think, as a solid unit. And I would stick with all four. I think Tony mentioned that he's going to mix it up with Tosin a little bit, but I would try as much as I could to stick with those four if they're going to keep on putting performances in like that. I was on the Niambe right back. I was shouting for that all season. But if Benno's going to step up and start putting in performances like this, maybe it's the captaincy that's helping him out too. I don't know, but either way, let's let them sort that out. But I think they're doing a great job back there. At least they were today. Walton still looks a little bit shaky, but maybe he'll gain some confidence from the clean sheet. And I know he's still settling into life there, so give him some time. Travis and Johnson, they look fantastic again. I think they're a really solid duo for Rovers in the midfield. I got a little leggy near the end, but I think Tony's subs actually helped them out for once. And I thought Tony's subs made a lot more sense, although the expression on Daki's face would tell you otherwise. But I know he's just eager to push on for Rovers and play all 90 minutes. Him deployed on the right wing again, but he did fantastic on that right wing. Even if I don't want to see him consistently played out there, because I want to see him either in a 4-4-2 as a striker or as a solo striker. Although you can't do that right now unless Danny Graham gives you a replay, so you got to stick with him. Otherwise, thought everybody looked good. Buckley came on, looked very promising, although he still looks a little bit lightweight. He kind of bounced off a tackle that he threw in later on in the game, so it kind of shows you he's got a little more development to go, but very promising stuff, especially to see the academy graduates coming through on a day like today where it's 19 years since Uncle Jack. But Yeah, I can't be happier about this. Also, if you haven't yet, go on to Lynn's Lewis 15 on Twitter and check out the supporting the champions, donating to the Rovers ladies for sponsorship. It's a great movement. She's been able to rally the troops and really put a great thing together. So go and check that out and get involved with that. But yeah, otherwise, enjoy the weekend. It'll be a lot easier with all 3 points in the bag and the feel good factor back at Ewood. So onwards and upwards, guys. Thanks.
Over on social media, well, Richard Sharp said this, hard to single out individuals after that, but must give mention to Greg Cunningham and Sam Gallagher. Both ran themselves into the ground in the clean sheet. #Rovers. Northern Rovers said this, brilliant, totally dominated Borough. Very impressed with Johnson. Constantly organised us in midfield, and particularly in the last 15 minutes, ensuring that we kept our shape. Of course, we've heard from him already, but the one and only Deuce said this, Tony, do everything in your power to get Cunningham on a permanent deal at Rovers, please. What a quality player he is. Turkish Delight, aka at Rovers. I know I was against Gallagher on the wing, and for me it still isn't somewhere I'd want to play him all the time, but wow, the boy put a shift in today. Great stuff. Cutting a man of the match for me. Finally we got a proper left back. A huge improvement on Bell. Sean Slater said this, we needed a massive 3 points. Well done. #Rovers. That's in response to Darrell Lennon. I don't have his tweet. I didn't include. Emma Douglas says this, they all worked extremely hard today. Great win. Well done, lads. And finally, it looks like we have a decent left back. Meanwhile, Adrian Spencer posted this little GIF or picture. It put, the old Google location jobby, your location to the top 6. That's right, we're heading that way. We are just one win away from that playoff spots. Martin, aka DDP Yoga Fan 82, said half decent left back, Lennon and Williams in centre, and a clean sheet. Gallagher putting a shift on the right, getting back and covering for Bennett. Few shots on target, just need to get those goals from open play. And Rovers chat did 3 points check, clean sheet check, DG on the score sheet check. Enjoy your weekend, Rovers fans.
That's pretty much all I've got for you today, folks. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the thumbs up. If you do, smash the subscribe. New videos pretty much every single day on the channel, even then the fact we're on the road as we try and get cover 6,000 miles in about 2 weeks, but still keeping up to date with the footy for boys and girls. But as you can see, tranquil, beautiful natural habitat right here in Yellowstone National Park. The next time you'll see me in a Rovers, guys, we could be in Las Vegas, we could be in Utah. I have no idea where we're going, but we're going to cover Rovers wherever we are on the road. Make sure you give me your thoughts and opinions about the match in the comment section down below. And of course, we have Hull City next, so hopefully we can get ourselves back-to-back league wings in this season. But anyway, I'm going to let you get out of it. Until then, thumbs up, subscribe. Ciao for now. Thanks again for watching. Please like, share, and most importantly, hit the subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, championship related, football related. We've got it all covered right under one roof. And while I still have you, please be sure to check out some of the old videos scattered along here. I hope.